Before you begin, Mr. Pace, I'd just like to make a statement. It's fairly public knowledge that Mr. Pace has some animosity towards me, some public discourse that's, and I am putting that aside. I'm not going to recuse myself. I have dealt with Cub Scouts all the way from first grade all the way to fifth grade, and can put all aside those arguments, whatever people say, and then look at the facts. So I'll be doing the same thing for you, Mr. Pace.
And I don't have any personal animosity towards you, Mr. Truskauskas. I believe the problems that you're talking about really pertain to you breaking the very regulations that you're supposed to uphold as you say.
We're going to discuss that later this evening, but right now I think we should discuss your informal discussion about your use.
Let me ask you a question. Were you in the tree line in my house 2 Saturdays ago?
This is irrelevant with the discussion. If you're going to be...
Yes or no? You're a commissioner. You're a city official.
I am a city official. You came to this commission looking for an informal discussion for the use of your home for a business. That's what's on the agenda. That's what we're going to discuss. Okay. If you have something else you'd like to discuss, that's a different matter that does not apply right here underneath this agenda.
I was stopped to see Polyredmond. I was going to apply for a special permit to start a construction company out of my home on Scoville Hill Road. And she told me that it wouldn't be allowed, that it's not allowed. And I was questioning if I couldn't have a construction business out of my home. And I'm only 100 addresses up from your house. How is it that you can have a construction company out of your house?
Mr. Pace, once again...
I'm asking, that's a special permit. I'm asking for how come I can't get that special permit?
I don't have a special permit to operate a construction business out of my home.
Okay, so how is it that you're able to operate a construction business out of your home without a permit?
Mr. Pace, you're completely out of order, so we're moving on to item number 6, Post Office Plaza, Arrakis Real Estate.
How is he out of order?
He's not here to discuss the use of home.
Chairman here, I think there's a vote on it. I think you make motions yourself and run this meeting. I think there's people here that have to make motions and to turn around and say we're going to move on to the next order. You can't just run the whole meeting yourself.
You're a little bit mistaken according to Robert's Rules of Order.
Oh,
according to Robert's Rules of Order, you're out of order. And
actually,
if you continue
I'm not out of order. I asked the question. How come I can't run a construction business out of my home?
That's because it is not in our regulations.
Okay.
That's the answer.
And the question I have for you is, if somebody is doing that out of their home, 100 addresses away from me, how is that allowed?
I don't believe it is allowed. You have a business that's registered for your home?
I have 2 businesses, and they're down in Southington.
Are you here to discuss the use of your home for one of those businesses?
I'm here to discuss a new business that I'd like to start out of my home, and that's construction business. So where are we with that?
What are you going to be doing out of your home with your construction business?
Triaxle, I want to park on my property. I have some excavators I want to park on my property. Okay? And I want to turn around and be able to take those excavators and triaxles whenever I need to, whenever there's a job going on, to go do that right off my property.
That does not sound like something that's allowed in our regulations.
Okay. So it's not allowed. Okay. That's what I needed to know. All right.
Anything further?
Thanks.
Excuse me, folks. No applause. This is a zoning meeting. There's no applause. We're here running a meeting. We're not going to be interrupted. That's kind of a little bit of a show.
Is laughing allowed? Am I allowed to laugh? Can I laugh? Am I allowed to laugh, Don?
You're not allowed to discuss other things.
Okay, I'm sorry. I found that humorous, so I laughed.
Yeah,
what do you think?
You're completely out of order. If you choose to do that again, we'll have you removed, which is something that I do have the authority to do.
That's okay.
So, item number is the road against Fred, PC 529 Burlington Road, trailer on his property. You can amend your motion to authorize the cease and desist and then leave it up to Mr. Perkins as to whether he feels he needs to go there.
Can I speak? This has to do with the complaints. It's my daughter.
If it has to do with the complaint against Allison Allman, you feel free to come on up and speak.
This situation has been going on far longer than driving around with the backhoe and digging here and digging there and digging here and digging there. Has been going on for more than 5 years, probably 10, God knows how many before that. It is clearly in violation of our rules and regulations, our policies. It has been allowed to go on.
Now for the second complaint, I obviously will be recusing myself, and I'll be handing the chairmanship off since we don't have a secretary to Mr. Marzullo.
There was a complaint made by Jessica Genovese against Don Truskauskas, and you've read this, and at this point, do you then investigate this and find out if this...
Excuse me, would you be probably asked?
Excuse me, you're not part of the meeting. No,
you're not going to read the complaint, what it is?
I was instructed that that's not necessary, but if you think it's necessary, I will read it.
I
think it's a fine idea to read it.
Right,
yeah, we like to hear it.
We like to hear it.
I'll read it. Okay, 4814 on property located at 99 Scoville Hill Road. In the AM, a small red truck entered property. Yellow utility truck exited property. At 1:50 p.m. on same day, dump truck with what appears to read Autumn Contracting backed into the back of property, followed by yellow utility truck. Shortly after, red truck left property. Period.
Lights noted.
Lights noted to be on dump truck parked in back of property. 4914, dump truck left overnight at Commissioner Don Truskauskas Mort property. Video evidence offered to zoning office at this time. This writer was told to send video to zoning enforcement officer David Perkins, Junior office, to take this complaint. Was Polly Redmond, Harwinton, land use coordinator, 4914. Dump truck left property of 99 Scoville Hill Road at 9:15 a.m. Complaint is running a business out of a home in a residential area on Scoville Hill Road. You've read this?
I have read that, yes.
And have you
I
investigated?
have not had the chance to investigate it.
And when do you think you'll be able
Well,
to?
again, I was looking for some guidance from this board in terms of how you would like me to proceed. I can meet with the homeowner and
Did you see
what I can see. No, I haven't seen the video.
It says they sent the video. Well,
I would recommend you
I haven't
watch
seen
the
it.
video if it was taken in.
Do we have it, Polly? Did they?
I assume she sent it to you.
She didn't send it to me.
I'll provide that for you.
Will maybe contact her and make sure we get a copy of the video?
any other questions or comments relative to this?
There is one more thing, if I have an opportunity just to speak on this. The same thing you're going through with Mr. Pesci, you just voted on, about a cease and desist. It's been going on in this neighborhood for over 8 years. Okay? It's well documented. Okay? The problem we're having is that this board is supposed to be enforcing and setting zoning regulations in this town to protect. In other towns, how it works is that somebody's issued a cease and desist. And the next day, if that stuff is still there, they start paying a fine. Okay, and that fine's levied every day. It's a new fine. $150 is what the rules say in this town.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you for that information.
So $150 a day, believe me, it does get action. Okay? And people do start listening to you when you turn around and start levying those fines against them. And the other thing is what you do, if they don't pay them, you lien their property. That's how the process works.
I think Mr. Perkins already went through all this, and I appreciate the input. Dave, will you look into this, and if is there any prior complaints about this that you're aware of?
There have been past complaints, yes. Going back how long? I want to say...
Point of order, you should only be addressing the commission members, not the audience, Polly.
I'm sorry?
You shouldn't be addressing the...
No, I'm answering Lynn Steinhann's question. I wasn't
Yes.
addressing anybody.
Actually,
But I'm trying to think.
are you still directing the meeting down? Because I thought you gave the chairmanship up a second.
Mr. Pace, I gave a point of order, which is duly appropriate.
You're
not supposed to speak
in
this
Let's have a little order here in the audience too, okay? This shouldn't even be going on right now. It shouldn't be.
This should have been stopped a long time. You're absolutely right. This shouldn't never go on. This should have been stopped in 05, Mr.
But I'm going to ask you to now sit down and be quiet, okay?